The station was alive with voices. Metallic announcements echoed across the vaulted concourse, repeating the departure times of interstellar shuttles. Vendors shouted over the hum of magnetic trams. Luggage bots wheeled past, whispering politely to harried travelers. Yet amidst all that clamor, there was a strange, heavy silence at the far end of the terminal. That silence followed her. The alien woman moved slowly through the waiting area, clutching a ticket between long, elegant fingers. Her skin shimmered faintly, like glass beneath running water, and the light caught on her features in hues of silver and pale blue. She was tall, slender, with eyes too large for a human face, and irises that rippled like oil. Her hair wasn't hair at all but a series of fine, filamentous strands, each glowing faintly with bioluminescent pulses that traveled from crown to tip. Every bench she passed was full, but whenever she approached, the crowd shifted. Men coughed, women clutched children tighter, and groups leaned subtly away. On one bench, 3 young technicians even got up entirely, abandoning their seats as if they'd suddenly remembered they were late for something. She glanced down at the empty spaces beside her, her face a mask of practiced indifference. But the way her fingers tightened on her ticket betrayed what she felt. I watched all this from across the concourse, my bag slung over my shoulder, waiting for my own shuttle to board. And something in my chest twisted. Maybe it was because I remembered what it was like to be the outsider years ago when I first left Earth for the colonies. Maybe it was because I hated injustice, no matter how subtle. Or maybe it was simply because I was tired of watching people act so small in a universe so vast. So I stood, walked across the concourse, and without saying a word, I sat down beside her. For the first time since she entered the terminal, the alien woman turned fully to look at someone. Her strange eyes studied me for a long, silent moment. Then, to my surprise, she smiled, just barely. Part 1. The Unwanted Passenger. "Thank you," she said softly, her voice lilting and musical, though her accent curled strangely around the words. "You don't need to thank me," I replied. "It's just a seat." "No," she said, shaking her head. "To them it is not just a seat. To you, perhaps." Her gaze flicked toward the others in the waiting area. I followed her eyes. People were staring, some openly, others out of the corners of their eyes. One man muttered something under his breath. Shrugged. "They'll get over it." She tilted her head, as though studying whether I believed that myself. "Humans rarely get over it. They carry their fears tightly, like firestones in their pockets. Too warm to throw away, too heavy to bear." I chuckled despite myself. "You've been around us long enough to figure that out, huh?" Her smile widened, though faintly. "Long enough to know you do not all think the same. That is why I sit." We fell into silence. Around us, announcements droned. Child cried in the distance. My own shuttle number hadn't been called yet, so I asked, "Where are you headed?" "Outward," she said. "To the rim. To a world called Solara 9. And blinked. That was far. Colonial world. Harsh climate. Why there? Her bioluminescent strands dimmed, as if her mood shifted with them. Because there, perhaps, I will be tolerated. Part 2. The journey begins. Our flights boarded at the same terminal gate. The shuttle wasn't large. An older model designed for short interstellar hops. Inside, seats lined either side of the narrow cabin. I noticed again the way passengers shifted, choosing spots as far from her as possible. By the time we strapped in, half the rows were empty except the one we shared. When the shuttle launched, the hum of the engines filled the silence. She kept her hands folded in her lap, her gaze fixed on the view outside, streaks of starlight as we jumped into the slipstream. After a long while she spoke again. You wonder what I am? I hesitated. I guess I do. I am called Ilyara, she said. My people were once scattered among many systems. We are not warlike, not conquerors. But when empires fight, peaceful worlds are the first to burn. We survived. Some of us. Her voice cracked slightly at the last words, though she quickly smoothed it away. I'm sorry, I said and meant it. She inclined her head. It is not apology I seek, only space to exist. That sentence stayed with me through the quiet hours of the journey. Part 3. A ship in distress. Halfway through the trip, the shuttle jolted violently. The lights flickered, alarms blared, and the PA system crackled to life. Attention passengers, we've sustained a systems fault. Please remain calm and secured in your seats. The ship shook again, harder. Luggage bins popped open, scattering belongings into the aisle. What's happening? Someone cried. The captain's strained voice came over the comm. We've lost stabilizers on the starboard wing. We are attempting manual control. Brace for turbulence. Panic swept through the cabin. People gripped armrests, prayed aloud, or shouted questions no one could answer. Beside me, Ilyara sat very still, her luminous hair pulsing rapidly. Then she unbuckled. What are you doing? I hissed. They told us to stay seated. She met my eyes. If I do not go, we will all die. Before I could stop her, she moved down the aisle with a strange, fluid grace. A crew member tried to intercept her, but she pressed her hand against a wall panel, and the lights flickered in response. It was as though the ship itself recognized her touch. Open the maintenance hatch, she ordered calmly. To my astonishment, the crew obeyed. Part 4. The truth revealed. Hours later, after the crisis had passed and the shuttle stabilized, the captain himself came to thank her. Apparently, she had interfaced with the ship's systems directly. Her biology was partly conductive, capable of bridging circuits no human could. She rerouted power and stabilized the failing controls until the crew could repair them. The passengers were alive because of her. Yet when she returned to her seat, silence greeted her again. People avoided her eyes. One woman even whispered, "Unnatural," loud enough for us both to hear. I clenched my fists. You just saved their lives and still. She raised a hand to quiet me. It is enough. I'm still breathing. That is enough. But the faint tremor in her voice betrayed otherwise. Part 5. On Solara 9. When we landed at Solara 9, the colony world stretched before us. Harsh, red desert plains under twin suns, dotted with domes of habitation and mining rigs. The air shimmered with heat. Passengers disembarked quickly, eager to put distance between themselves and the alien who had saved them. Soon, only Ilyara and I remained near the docking bay. Will you be safe here? I asked. She smiled faintly. Safe is a relative word. But here labor is needed. And those who need survival rarely ask too many questions of those who help provide it. I nodded, but something in me resisted walking away. You shouldn't be alone. I have always been alone, she said gently. Then after a pause she added, but today not entirely. Because one human chose to sit beside me. Her luminous strands pulsed once like a heartbeat. Part 6. A decision. I should have left then. My own shuttle awaited to take me further Coreward. My contract was waiting and the life I'd planned.